A stash of stolen treasures has been voluntarily returned to historic opera hall. Jiyaxuan in Yunlin is perhaps the most important historic opera hall in Taiwan. It was built in the 1850s in Beigang Township, which was a major cultural center at the time. In the 20th century, Jiyaxuan fell into despair.
25 years ago, many of its cultural artifacts were stolen, but now they have been given back. Meanwhile, the custodians of the hall have won government funding for a major renovation project. The dilapidated buildings of the hall have been restored to their former glory.
And Jiyaxuan is leading a renaissance in traditional arts, enabling new students to learn skills that have become vanishingly rare. FTV met Wu Teng-hsing, who's in charge of the hall today, to find out about its comeback.
This is Jiyaxuan. It's been an artistic center in Yunlin's Beigang Township for more than a century. Many precious historical objects are kept here, but 25 years ago, a huge stash of items was taken in a robbery, leaving the hall's custodians devastated. But recently, a member of the public contacted the museum and offered to return the stolen items.
The objects were in Jiayi City, Yunlin, and Tainan. I never thought they'd come back. A collector contacted me. At first, I thought it was some kind of scam. I wasn't sure, so I asked them to send me photos, and they sent them, and I said, yep, that's our stuff.
One of the items that's been returned is a wooden drum stand carved by the late sculptor and living national treasure Chen Yingbing. This whole set of carvings was stolen. The hall's guardians are grateful that the set was protected, perhaps by spiritual forces, and that the carvings could find their way home. They're also delighted to see the intricate work of these historical objects up close.
有一个卡水，它刚好卡在一起。哦，早期的这个工艺真的。它很有智慧啊。这钱的嘛是脆呀面的。
They've come back, but they're seriously damaged, so we're going to ask for help and see if companies are willing to support us. When we restore historical objects, it's not just repairing the object, it's repairing our hearts and our souls.
Jiyaxuan was founded in the 1850s in the Xianfeng reign of the Qing dynasty. It was the first storied opera hall in the local region, but later it fell into disrepair. 3 years ago, its association received a Ministry of Culture subsidy to reconstruct the buildings and bring history back to life.
These two pillars are 110 years old, so I told the repairman, please keep as much of the existing material as you can. So while they were repairing them, I was always watching and overseeing how they did it.
After the renovation, Jiyaxuan held a grand opening, and students were immediately lining up to learn traditional arts from the masters. The hall hopes these traditional arts will continue to flourish for many more centuries to come.
The existence of this hall is very important for Beigang and even for the whole of Yunlin County and for Taiwan, because Jiyaxuan was the first for Taiwan in many respects. Last year, we even staged a performance at the National Center for Traditional Arts, so we need the younger generations to take up the baton and work hard to continue the traditions of Jiyaxuan.
Jiyaxuan is the first opera hall in Taiwan to become a nationally designated historic site. It bears testament to the cultural magnificence of Beigang at its height, and its reconstructed buildings are a marvel. The project is bringing back to life music that has been quiet for over 100 years.